A woman has died after being pulled from a lake north of Brisbane. It's understood the woman had been kayaking on Lake Samson Vale at Jonica. She was treated by paramedics but sadly died at the scene.
Years after Jacqueline Davidson tragically drowned during a kayaking trip, her husband Graeme Davidson now stands accused of her murder and attempting to claim $1 million in life insurance before fleeing to Thailand. In this Daily Mail exclusive, we unravel a case that shocked the nation. It was November 2020 when Jacqueline, a much-loved mother and beautician, reportedly died during a kayaking trip on Lake Samson Vale with her husband of 26 years, Graeme, a respected soldier. At the time, it was treated as a tragic accident.
Queensland Police initially found no signs of foul play in Jacqueline's death. So the case was effectively closed and considered to have been a terrible tragedy. There was then a coronial process during which police started to question whether this had been an accident after all. About 18 months to 2 years after Jacqueline's death, the police focus turned to this being an alleged homicide.
Police will allege that there was some form of breakdown in the relationship at that time. Police are alleging that the male person was involved in the drowning on the lake.
I'm placing you on arrest for the murder from November 2020.
In May 2025, after years abroad, Graeme returned to Brisbane from Thailand, reportedly for a family matter. But this was no ordinary homecoming. Police had been watching, and when Graeme returned to home soil, they were ready.
Police had obviously been monitoring Davidson's movements, and they moved quickly. He was charged with the murder of his wife and with allegedly trying to cash in on more than $1 million in life insurance.
Shortly after her drowning, Graeme quietly left Australia, resurfacing in Hua Hin, a tranquil Thai coastal town known for its affordability and growing community of Western expats seeking a fresh start.
Hua Hin is a popular tourist destination, both with foreigners and Thais. It's a far more family-orientated sort of resort than some of the seedier parts of Thailand. It's known as the Thai Riviera sometimes. I got the impression it'd be a pretty easy place to set yourself up for a new life, to start again. Our goal was to find where Graeme Davidson had been living and how he had been spending the past few years in Thailand. He doesn't seem to have lived a bar-hopping sort of existence.
Graeme seemed to move on quickly, even speaking openly about his past on expat radio.
Special guest this morning is Graeme Davidson. Good morning, Graeme.
Good morning to you, Lee.
Can you tell me a little bit about you?
Well, I have a military background. I joined the British Army in the 1980s, reached the highest rank for a soldier and then commissioned to become an officer. Completed 22 years before jumping ships to the Australian Army. Did another 11 with those guys, so I did 33 years military service in total.
So there is a stereotype of older Western men coming to Thailand for a fresh start and probably to find a much younger partner. The locals sometimes refer to these people as losers back home.
So not long after touching down in Thailand, he signed up for dating apps and was already on the hunt for a new wife. And that's where he met Ploy Ranu. She was just 28 years old and a local real estate agent. Ranu said that Davidson seemed fun and a calm person, and that he was well dressed and looked after himself. But Ranu also said that he was hyper aware of gold diggers and that she felt like he was watching her throughout the day to try to catch her out to see if she was a gold digger. Davidson took her to his apartment and showed off his renovations, and she said that he talked quite a lot about his properties both in Thailand that he owned, there were 2 at the time, and also that he had a farm back in Australia. Davidson talked a lot about his family while they were together, and that he also talked about his wife. She said he didn't go into a lot of details about her, but there was one particular detail he definitely left out. Davidson never told Ranu that his wife had died.
By December 2022, Graeme had moved on from Ploy, marrying a young Thai woman, Pik Patrapon. On his wedding day, the Scots-born veteran wore his traditional kilt and military medals. He was filmed dancing joyfully with Pick's family and well-wishers.
Graeme Davidson had bought himself a 4-level beachside villa worth certainly more than $500,000. I've been to the house and it looks pretty amazing. He seemed to be living a fairly settled sort of existence. He'd hired a maid and a gardener, so it looked like a pretty good life.
To friends and fellow expats, it seemed Graeme had left his grief and his past far behind.
Graeme Davidson appeared to be enjoying his second go at married life. Everyone we spoke to kept saying that his main pursuit appeared to be playing pickleball with his new wife. They appeared to be a happy couple.
One of Patrapon's friends even wrote under their wedding photo that she was glad that her friend's life had turned from good to great and that she was really envious. I think her friends would be anything but envious now, her fairy tale life crumbling beneath her when her husband goes back to Australia and gets arrested for the murder of his first wife.
The case lies before the Australian courts, leaving one question still unanswered. Was Jacqueline Davidson's death a tragic accident or the final move in a cold betrayal?
To those who knew Davidson in Thailand, the reaction to his arrest seemed to be one of incomprehension. Most of the people we spoke to did not want to talk about what might or might not have happened in Brisbane, but they just couldn't believe that he'd been arrested and charged with that offence. They were just stunned.
Graeme's son Hamish travelled to Hua Hin from his home in Bangkok to stay with his stepmother Pick, while his father remains in custody in Australia.
When we approached the house, Pick Patraporn was inside, did not wish to come downstairs. Graeme Davidson's son was there. He came downstairs and he did not wish to speak with us. It was probably a difficult situation for Hamish. His father has been charged with murdering his mother and he's staying in that villa with a woman who is effectively his stepmother. Hamish politely but very firmly said he would not be making any comment himself or on behalf of his father. He then suggested that we went back to where we came from fairly quickly.
Graeme Davidson has not entered a plea and the allegations remain unproven before the courts.